Every second, somewhere on Earth, something is fighting to survive. Earth is 4.5 billion years old. In that time, over 5 billion species have existed. Today, only a fraction remains. The question isn't why so many died out. It's how any survived at all. The answer is one of the most powerful forces in nature, natural selection. No two individuals are exactly alike. Before natural selection can act, there must be something to select. Look closely at any population, a field of flowers, a colony of ants, and you'll notice something remarkable. No two individuals are identical. This is called genetic variation, and it is the essence of evolution. Variation arises from mutation, random changes in DNA. And from sexual reproduction, which shuffles genetic information through crossing over during meiosis and random fertilization. Without variation, evolution is impossible. Here is where nature becomes ruthless. Resources, food, water, mates, shelter, are limited. Populations always produce more offspring than the environment can support. This creates competition, and in competition, traits matter. An insect that blends into a leaf survives. One that doesn't gets eaten. A gazelle with slightly longer legs outruns the cheetah. One that is slower does not pass on its genes. This is natural selection, the process by which individuals with heritable traits better suited to their environment survive longer, reproduce more, and pass those advantageous traits to their offspring. Over generations, those traits become more common in the population. The population has changed. Evolution has occurred. Natural selection takes several forms. In directional selection, one extreme phenotype is favored. Imagine a population of mice on dark volcanic rock. Lighter mice are spotted by predators and eaten. Darker mice survive. Over generations, the whole population shifts darker. In stabilizing selection, the middle ground wins. Human birth weight is a classic example. Babies too small or too large have lower survival rates. Average weight is selected for. And in disruptive selection, both extremes are favored over the middle. This is particularly important because it can begin to split a population in two. Natural selection is not the only thing changing populations. Sometimes evolution is simply an accident. Genetic drift is the random change in allele frequencies in a population, not because of survival advantage, but because of chance alone. It hits hardest in small populations. Imagine a wildfire wipes out most of a beetle colony, leaving only 12 survivors. Those 12 may not represent the original genetic diversity at all. By chance alone, rare alleles may now dominate, and common ones may vanish. This is called the bottleneck effect. A related phenomenon, the founder effect, occurs when a small group breaks off and colonizes a new area. The genetics of that new population reflect only the founders, not the original group. Islands are full of examples. Evolution within a population is fascinating, but what happens when one species becomes two? Speciation, the formation of new species, often begins with isolation. A mountain range rises, a river changes course, a few individuals raft to an island. Whatever the cause, a population becomes divided. Now the two groups face different environments, different predators, different food sources, different climates. Natural selection acts on each group differently. Mutations accumulate separately. Genetic drift pulls each group in its own direction. Hundreds of thousands of years pass. When the two populations finally come back into contact, they can no longer breed. They have become reproductively isolated. A new species exists. This is allopatric speciation, the most common path to new species on Earth. It's how Darwin's finches diversified across the Galapagos. It's how hundreds of cichlid species arose in Africa's Great Lakes. Reproductive isolation is what makes a species a species. It comes in two categories. Prezygotic barriers prevent mating from happening at all. Two frog species may live in the same pond, but one cools in spring, the other in summer. They never even meet. Others have incompatible anatomy, or their gametes simply cannot fuse. Postzygotic barriers kick in after mating. A mule, the offspring of a horse and a donkey, is healthy but sterile. The hybrid exists, but the lineage ends there. Once reproductive isolation is complete, gene flow between the two groups stops permanently. Their evolutionary paths will never ever converge again. Start with a single population. Add variation. Apply selection pressure. Introduce isolation. Wait. What you get over deep time is the tree of life. Millions of branches, each one a species shaped by the same unique process. Natural selection doesn't plan. It doesn't even care for perfection. It simply just filters. Those that fit persist. Those that don't, well, disappear. And yet, from that blind mechanical process has come the blue whale. The orchid. The cheetah. And you.